Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 28th of May 2017 with another episode, and we've got, well, I'm breaking with my normal rule this week with the first item. Normally I will only be putting on this show what is actually already available, but we are going to break with that this week because yet again we've got another flight simulation elephant has landed in the square in the middle of the room, and yes, of course, I am talking about Lockheed Martin and their announced release of Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D version 4. So as this video is going to air, it is only 2 short days from when we will be able to get our hands onto the copy on Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D version 4, which of course gives us the long-suspected and long-awaited announcement of 64-bit for the ESP platform. So, I don't have a copy of it. I'm going purely off what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing some other people who do have released some preview videos have got access to. It looks brilliant. It looks absolutely stunning. It really does. We've got what looks like a brand new dynamic weather engine and weather effects engine has been included. We're looking at some upgraded leeway and interaction abilities for controllers. We're looking at a brand new aircraft or more aircraft being added to the default library, including what looks like Aerosoft's F-16, I would believe it does look like, along with just overall just some incredibly some updated improved visuals. Now, whether or not what we're seeing is default out of the box or requiring third-party add-ons, not sure. I guess we'll find out in a few days' time. Speaking of third-party add-ons, there's already been some confirmation that there's Orbix, in a reversal of their previous position. Their previous position had been that any 64-bit update of Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D would entail a paid upgrade of their catalog. As a user, you'd have to pay for an update to be able to move into the new platform. They've reversed that decision, and they're actually now offering it as a free update. We know that Chaseplane, the makers of Chaseplane, FSFX packages, makers of Chaseplane, their product is going to work out of the box with it as well. A2A have confirmed that their Cessna 172 will work out of the box with it, and their other aircraft will follow very shortly afterwards. PMDG have announced that they will have some of their range will already be compatible, and others will come forth over the next few weeks, along with a few other developers as well. So I think that the only thing I'm going to say is that it looks like Lockheed Martin have been testing this for quite a while, and let's face it, they have had the code now for I dare say 8 years. They've had the code and they've been messing around with the code now for about 8 years. So great to see that they finally dragged the platform, that they brought the platform into 64-bit and looking quite impressive as well. So what that means for Dovetail Games and Flight Sim World, I guess we shall see in the coming weeks and months. We shall see. But as I said, no confirmation of prices. But if I'm going to hazard a guess, Lockheed Martin have kept their pricing structure pretty consistent for the last about 5-6 years. So we're looking at $199.95 US, so $200 US for the use of the professional license, and looking at $60 US for the academic license for those of you involved in aviation training. So just bear in mind, remember which license is applicable to you when you are purchasing. So yes, there you go. Alright folks, as I said, don't have confirmation. It will be available, we've been told, as I said, on the 30th of May. So just a couple of days away. Keep an eye on prepared.com for the further information. Link will be in the description down below. Alright, now that we've got the gigantic 64-bit elephant out of the way, let's move on with other actual releases from the week that was. So we've got the guys over at Milviz. So Milviz have released their DHC2 Beaver. So it's a really impressive looking. I've always got mixed feelings about Milviz stuff. They announce a lot of stuff and we don't always see it come through. We usually see a very good quality product come from from them, but it can sometimes take a while to get there. This one's looking pretty damn spectacular at the moment. The Beaver's always been an interest of mine. I'm hoping to get a copy of this sometime soon to have a look and bring to you guys. But it does come with various different versions. You do get a wheeled version, a ski version, and a floats version, all included. And of course, obviously, far better than the than the default Microsoft one that comes with FSX and the P3D platforms. Very beautiful, detailed modeling through there, including all the battery voltage and fluctuations with temperature as well, which is really interesting. Full multi-platform support as well, coming across FSX Steam Edition, and Prepared 3D 2 and 3, and integration and support for Flight 1's GTN series, Reality XP's GNS series, and the Milviz GNS information as well. What is kind of cool as well and awesome with this one is that if you do purchase this one, you also get a free copy of the combined Milviz and Rex weather radar. WX Advantage weather radar is included with this one as well, which is kind of cool, and a really awesome little tool, and so a great way to get it. If you have been thinking about whether you want to get it or not, now you get this one thrown in as part of this deal, so pretty cool. As I said, looking beautiful. The graphics, the 3D model and the graphics are looking very, very beautiful. Flight model seems like it's going to be pretty spot on, so looking forward to this one. Available now. Introductory pricing at $35 US, otherwise reverting up to the normal pricing of $40 US. Available now from the Milviz website and from your favorite flight sim retailer. Available now. Alrighty, in other flight simulation release news this week, well, another one of those not quite releases, one of those re-releases. So we saw the Wilco Falcon 7X get its Steam Edition release this week. So this one's been coming out. So this aircraft's been available from Wilco for about 6 months now, I think, off the top of my head. I want to say about sort of about 6 months. I want to say, and is hailed as the most accurate simulation and the most accurate version of the Falcon 7X kicking around. A lot of it from their actual access to the actual planes and actual aircraft, which is always a great way to know an authentic version of it. I'm not going to go into too much detail of it here, but it is a very beautiful model, looking quite amazing. This is the same one that you get from the normal retailers, except done exclusively for FSX Steam Edition, available on Steam, coming in at $30, which is the same price as buying it from other retailers. So again, if you're a cross-platform player, you may want to consider getting it from the normal retailer channels. Otherwise, if you do only fly in FSX Steam Edition, probably not bad to look it up. Coming in at $30 US, available now on Steam. Alrighty, now moving away from the flight simulation world, moving into other simulators this week. So we're going to move on to the ground level with the guys over at Train Simulator. So this week we saw the release of another one of their Pro Series trains. So this is the Stroud Li A1 and A1X class Terrier. So this was a locomotive that was originally designed in the 1870s and produced. So designed in the late 1860s, early 1870s, produced from the 1870s, and the final one being delivered in 1880. To serve as a very much the founding and a sort of as a standard, as a first time a national standardization of railway lines was actually coming into play in the United Kingdom. And it was actually one of the first trains to actually be part of that standard rail gauges and actually be able to do a lot of tasks that would leap progress forward in the United Kingdom throughout that era. And it would continue to be a solid server, and would actually see that they would actually continue soldiering on well past and outliving many of their replacements. In fact, the final version of the A1 of an A1X would actually not be retired until 1963. So that's outstanding longevity in anybody's language, and even in the age of steam and rail. Now, this is, as I said, this representation represents both the original A1 model and the later modified and updated A1X version. This is the Pro Series, so it does come in a very, very detailed usage. Though this one's interesting because it does actually have 3 different mode supports. So it has a simple, standard, and advanced mode. So which is unusual in the Pro Series. The Pro Series normally goes straight for as realistic as possible. Whereas this one's a bit interesting because it does offer the more traditional, more entry level user experience as well, which is kind of cool, and I kind of good about that one. You got a couple of different liveries included. For this one, you got 5 different liveries included. Incredibly detailed water condenser and pump operation with their various thermodynamic systems as well. You've got a shovel by shovel stoking system to actually sort of contend with, along with cylinder management, cylinder boiler management, simulator steam build up, wheel slip physics and braking physics as well. So a lot of stuff going on here. Like, the list of things that's going on in this is just insane. It really is. With various customizable optional parts and optional elements to add to your experience as well. So very highly detailed, incredible detail of this one. As I said, you get the both the A1 and the A1X, along with a few sub customizations as well. Along with that, you do get 3 scenarios as well for the Isle of Wight route. So if you do want to enjoy the scenarios, you will need to have the Isle of Wight route add-on as well. Otherwise, fully compatible with Steam Workshop scenarios as well. So yes, this one of the Pro Series is coming in at $20 US. Very affordable, I think, for the amount of detail that's going into this. Really is. But yes, coming in at $20 US, available now on Steam. Alrighty, sticking at ground level and moving on with other simulations this week. So we saw the release of Bus Simulator 16's latest piece of DLC, so their 3rd piece of DLC, which is the Manned Alliance City natural gas powered bus line. So this is a series of buses that have maybe been actually quite famous around the world, actually, with the Line City CNG series. You've got 3 different models of it. You've got the baseline CNG series. You've got the L, you've got the large version, and the GL, which is the biggest one, which is a articulated 18.75 meter long behemoth of this one. Really, again, really detailed. That's something that's come from the Bus Simulator 16. I was a bit sort of dubious of these guys when they first sort of came out, but they've really just focused on small, positive, consistent updates, and they've just really striven to do, although they do stuff small, they do it very, very well, and there's a lot of detail goes into it. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. These guys look like they really got their head screwed on right. They're not trying to go too ambitious. They're just focusing on, let's keep it small and get what we do right, and that's a really good sign for any simulation company. So yes, looking quite impressive, and as always with all of the Bus Simulator 16 stuff, even if you are playing with somebody with multiplayer that doesn't have the expansion, that's okay. They don't need it to play with you. But they will see you. So very much a distributor platform similar to what DCS does, which is really good to see, and a really good way to make sure you got community involvement, which is something I like. So there you go. But yes, so this is now. The other interesting part with this particular add-on, though, is not only do you get the 3 buses, you also get the engine type as well. So you can actually retrofit the natural gas engine into your other vehicles, into your other buses as part of your fleet, as part of your career mode. So you can actually sort of get some savings by using natural gas instead of actually using normal petroleum. So it's kind of cool, kind of interesting little way of looking at it and looking at how we manage the environmental resources as part of a transportation system. So yeah, interesting little idea. Kind of liked it. But yes, coming in very affordable price, coming in at $5 US, available now for your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Alright, sticking with ground level, but moving at a bit of a faster pace now. So the guys from Automobilista, I can never get my tongue around this, I really can't. They've released the 3rd in their legendary tracks installment, which is the Hockenheim. So this is the this very famous track has been the host of the German Grand Prix for over 35 years. Looking absolutely amazing. Very, very interesting. And what's even better with this is that not only have they got the current layout as well, they've actually got 4 distinct versions of the track going back throughout the generations, going back from, so you've got a version from 1977, you've got one from 1988, 2001, and the current 2016, along with a couple of sort of modern layouts, so using sort of smaller and rallycross layouts as well. So it's just really, really interesting and very detailed. As I said, the Automobilista title, I think, has been a little underestimated, and one of those slow burning titles. It didn't have the Assetto Corsa sort of like bang sort of onto the market, but this has been a slow burner that's always been just consistent with its delivery, so, and very affordable with its delivery as well. So yes, it might be worth you checking out for this one. So it's coming in at $6 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Alright, with a bit of a change of tack with simulation games now, with this is an interesting release. Life is Feudal Forest Village. So this is basically a sort of city simulator, but instead of being sort of the traditional city simulator of sort of, you know, through the ages, or, you know, in modern sort of city sort of times, this is a as the name suggests, a feudal village. So it's about going through and using different farming practices. You get a castle and you get to, you know, manage walls and defenses and stuff like that. But what's kind of interesting about it is that it adds a lot of stuff about things. For example, it's got the environmental management in terms of the resources, you know, the land, the quality of the land that you're farming, along with things like the actual managing of the seasons. So, you know, you're not going to be able to grow stuff during the winter. You're going to make sure you've got stock of everything there to go for you and your village, for all your villagers. You're also going to have things like you have to deal with different food types as well, to make sure that, you know, you're all going to get the enough of actual various minerals and vitamins that you need to be able to stave off, you know, disease and sickness. So there's a lot going on in this simulator, there really is, and it isn't just you being from a godlike perspective. You can actually go down into a first-person view and actually explore and do tasks yourself. So there's a lot going on here, that really does, I feel, put it strongly in the simulation genre. It's a very interesting title, and not badly priced either. Looking graphically quite nice and very interestingly priced, and as I said, just a very interesting title for something if you're looking for something maybe a little bit different. So yes, Life is Feudal Forest Village coming in at $25 US. It's been in early access for about 6 months, but it has gone to full release now, which is really good, with full Steam Workshop support. So yes, look out for this one. Available now on Steam. $25 US available now. Alrighty, Ian, another little interesting release. Well, this is okay. So this one's okay. Look, this is okay. Quick and dirty. This one. Okay, so this one, Quarantine's been in early access for 3 months. Hit full version this week. This is Pandemic, the board game, in computer format. Bang, done. That's it. Is it worth the $10 that it is? You know what? I'd actually recommend that you go out, pay the $30 or $40, buy the Pandemic board game, get a few people together, with a few drinks and tabletop, and you're going to have an even better time, I think. But don't get me wrong, if you don't have that option, if that option isn't available to you, then this is still, it looks like a really good take on a really good sort of transition of the board game version, and still looking quite good. But yeah, don't be fooled. It is literally Pandemic the board game as a computer format. Bang, done. That's it. Cool. Available now. Launch special, $6 US at the moment. Coming in at a normal price will be $10 US available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving on with a couple more releases for the simulation world this week. So, moving now into outer space. So we saw Icarus Starship Command Simulator. Now this one is kind of interesting as well, because I mentioned before with Life is Feudal that it's interesting that you had the option of doing it not just from a godlike perspective, but actually going down to a first-person sort of view and taking command, instead of, you know, controlling your villages and walk around. Icarus Starship Command Simulator kind of does the same thing. So this one combines like a roguelike RPG style, but with a simulator in the fact that you actually still have to control the ship systems. The idea is that you're going through to sort of go through to save. To stop a star going supernova, but you've got to transition through a heavily pirate-infested and dangerous part of attractive space. The simulation side of it is the fact that you do have to simulate the ship systems and going through from point A to point B, and you do have to take control of that ship, and you do have to manage your crew and as well as the ship. And in that way, it's very interesting. It's very basic in terms of graphics. Don't expect anything truly amazing when it comes to graphics. And the cost is $4, like it's cost of a cup of coffee, but a very interesting few ideas in here as well. So I think it's overall, though, I think it just looks a little confused. The title doesn't know whether it's a simulator, an RPG, a roguelike, an ancient sort of text-based RPG sort of game. It doesn't really know what it is. It's trying to be a lot of things at once, but at the same time, less than $5, it's possibly not a bad investment. So anyway, be very interesting to see if anything happens with this. As I said, available now on Steam. Icarus Starship Command Simulator coming in at $4 available now. Alrighty, and rounding out the simulation release news for this week, we saw Starpoint Gemini Warlords. Again, another title that's finally left early access. So this one's been around in early access for about 6 months. So this is the latest in the Starpoint Gemini series. And this one starts you off. Basically, Starpoint Gemini Warlords again is one of those titles that sort of is trying to do a lot of things differently. So this is a space sim where you are in command of a starship, and you actually go through and actually fight the good fights, and go through and fight the battles against pirates and other enemies in the greater galaxy. And you can go through and you can upgrade your ships, upgrade your crews, and actually sort of advance your tech and all that. But it also it throws in a strategic and a 4X sort of element in there as well, is that that you're actually doing this as part of a story where you're actually rising up through ranks of the various warlords in the sector to actually sort of become the dominant one. So you actually end up going through and controlling stations and building armadas and fleets, and you can actually take more of a step back and simulate more of a leader role, or you can get into there in the nitty gritty and lead your fleets to combat and glory. So very interesting. Very interesting the fact that it's also a single player title. There's no sort of attempt at multiplayer and stuff like this at the moment. So very interesting. I like the fact that it's very story driven as well. I like solid story driven titles, I really do. So yeah, very interesting. And again, not badly priced either. So coming in, the core game is $35, or the digital deluxe version with a few extras is coming in at $40. So yes, as I said, available now, out of early access, available now, full version, available now on Steam. Alright folks, that does wrap up the NovaWrap and your weekly simulation release news for this week. Don't forget folks that we are getting stupidly close to FlightSimCon 2017, and the part of that of course is going to be the amazing part where we're going to be having the three giants of the flight simulation developer world. We're going to be having Laminar Flow, we're going to be having Lockheed Martin, and we have Dovetail Games all pitching it out as part of a panel at FlightSimCon, along with a huge number of really awesome developers, YouTube personalities, and simulation personalities like the guys from Air Daily X are going to be there. Belgio's going to be there. Yes, I will be rocking up and I will be lurking around as well. It's going to be great to see some of the stuff that's going to be there. So I really hope to see you guys there as well. As I said, I will be there for the weekend. Looking forward to it. Don't forget to see all the information about it and check out all the people who are going to be there over at the FlightSimCon 2017 website. All the details are down below, and as I said, coming up very, very soon. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome weekend, and I hope to see you all there. Alright folks, thanks very much for tuning in this week. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.